Driving without due care and attention, or careless driving, is defined under law as 1. Driving that falls below the standard expected of a competent driver, or 2. Driving that does not show reasonable consideration for other persons using the road or pathways. Criminal damage. The Criminal Damage Act 1971 classifies criminal damage as a person who, without lawful excuse, destroys or damages any property belonging to another, intending to destroy or damage any such property, or being reckless as to whether any such property would be destroyed or damaged. 2 offences Plod would love to jump all over you for, not least because they're an easy collar. Also offences that I know police are likely to have never let just go. So this time it's interesting because we're going to see just how the police handle this when it's the police who have committed the offences. A man from Manchester was left fuming after some dopey plod knocked his wheelie bins over and then simply buggers off. CCTV of the incident, we do love a bit of CCTV, captured the Greater Manchester Police Force vehicle turning around in the road and reversing into some wheelie bins before driving off on West Home Road in Didsbury at 8 p.m. on Friday. The bins were said to have been full of glass bottles, which made such a noise many of the neighbours heard it. The owner of the bin was in the gym. Oh, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. When he was alerted to the noise by his partner back home, he checked his CCTV remotely from his mobile phone and was shocked to discover a liveried police vehicle was responsible. The lazy plod just fucked off and left his toppled bins for somebody else to deal with, leaving an obstruction. The owner of the bins, who has asked to remain anonymous, has filed a complaint with Greater Manchester Police over the incident. The man said, "My wife thought it was a car crash outside. The police car had come down the road and reversed into our bins and knocked them over. They've almost crashed into the garage opposite too, and then just drove off. They were lucky they didn't crash into someone. It was erratic and totally unacceptable. They knock over someone's bins, then they go into someone's driveway. If that was me and it was my car, I'm pretty sure somebody would be chasing me down the street." Yeah, it'd be police chasing you, no doubt. He said, "My wife rang me and said there's been a car crash outside. I was at the gym. I couldn't believe it when I checked my CCTV. Didsbury has its problems with crime, and every time there's an incident, the police are knocking on my door asking for my CCTV and I give it to them. This is how they repay me. I'm usually an easygoing kind of person, but I'm very annoyed about it. They could have knocked on the door and said sorry and sorted it out. Trust me, they definitely knew what they had done. They must have heard. The bins were full of bottles and they were left all over the pavement. My wife had to clean it up." Now, criminal damage in this instance, I would suggest, would be classed as minor damage, although I haven't seen the bins. But let's base it on minor damage. That's a fine between Band B and Band C, which on the Sentencing Council's guidelines website states 75 to 125% of a relevant weekly income. As for the careless driving, however, now that's a little more serious. And I bet my bollocks to a barnyard the cop's sergeant will be on the phone, apologising, licking arse, promising all sorts of tellings off will occur, when in reality they'll simply be laughing about it if they get away with it. Now, if you're found guilty of careless driving, a court can impose 3 to 9 penalty points on your licence. Or they can disqualify you. Obviously, they wouldn't disqualify a copper just for knocking bins over because they're all up each other's arseholes. But you can also be faced with a fine up to £2,500 depending on the nature of the incident. So this will be quite an interesting story to keep an eye on. As I say, there's no way in hell that Plod would let you walk away from doing that yourself unscathed. And so I hope that the guy whose bins got knocked over, for the simple fact that he wouldn't be let off, makes sure he pushes this and follows it through as far as he can. But I'll keep an eye on it and I'll keep you updated if there's any further news. Big thank you to channel supporters, one and all, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and of course other officials.